I hate not being rich, and the reason why is many times I have to choose
Why would I choose between this one or that one when I know that I can have both?
to do. Then it meant that I had to do a business. My chances of becoming a millionaire were significantly lower. Family, I hope I find you well. So today we're going to start the first topic of business, Igcse business, and we're going to be looking at business activity. But I want to start off by telling you a story. So almost a decade ago, I was like, a young guy. I'm still a young guy, but I was younger. I'm wiser now. But anyway, so I wanted nice things in life. That's the thing. I just wanted nice things. I wanted to fly private. I wanted to wear Gucci and Prada. I wanted to drive the most expensive cars. But I was just like, in my late teens, maybe 19 or so. But I wanted to have all of those things, and I was very ambitious, and I wanted to take on the world and do a lot of things. And one of the things that I quickly realized was, if I was going to do any of those things that I wanted to do, then it meant that I had to do a business. My chances of becoming a millionaire were significantly lower if I was going to just be somebody who was going to be working for the next person. So I knew that if I was going to be a millionaire and live the life of my dreams, I had to get into business. I had to do something. So I started a business, and this business, I went and registered my company. It was called Passion Brands. It was amazing, and the future looked so bright. I almost felt like I was a millionaire already. What made me to want to start this particular business was that year, like in Zimbabwe, there was a lot of inflation and money was losing value, just like that. And so I had all of this money saved up in the bank because I wanted to do a business. I didn't know what kind of business that I wanted to do, but I knew that I wanted to do a business. So what I did was, I just found a guy who was selling this reverse osmosis machine. I think I found them on Facebook or something. And then I was like, oh, this must be it. I'm going to buy this machine. I'm going to buy, these big tanks and all of this equipment. And then I'm going to start a business. I would get the chemicals, buy the bottles, get the labels printed, come back home, mix the chemicals, mix them with water and sugar, and use manual work. We're using hands to stir and all of these things, and we'd package them, and then would go around our some small shops in our neighborhood and sell the drinks to them. And that's just how we started off the business. And the only people who were helping me was my brother and my mom at that point, my kid brother. And I just started the business like that. And before I go on with my story, I want to explain to you that what I've just told you right now is what we call business activity. That's exactly what is called business activity. These are the things that you are doing when you are doing business. So that's what business activity means. So I'm going to be telling you my story as we go along, and just making you see these things. And people always ask me, why are you always telling stories when you are trying to teach people? Because if I tell you stories, you're going to remember these things. And if I tell you stories of how these things are applied in real life, you apply them in an exam easy. So that's exactly why I do it. So I'm going to be using English, but I'm also going to be putting a bit of some vernac here and there. So if you don't know how to speak Shona, you're going to learn how to speak Shona. If you do know how to speak Shona, you're in it for a treat. Okay, let's go. So the first thing that we're going to be talking about is we want to talk about the concept of needs, wants, scarcity, and opportunity cost. So I've already told you that I like nice stuff. I like to stay in hotels. I like to drive expensive cars. I like to live in open plan houses with glasses everywhere. But right now, I don't live in an open plan house with glasses everywhere. I don't spend my holidays in a yacht somewhere in the Pacific Ocean. I don't do all of that. Why? And I'm still alive, and nothing. I'm 100%. I'm okay. because these are just wants. So you don't die if you don't get your wants. I'm not going to die if I never fly private. I'm not going to die if I don't live in a glass house, or I do not stay in Beverly Hills, California. I'm not going to die because these are just wants. They're not essential for living. My life is not going to be significantly affected because I don't have a Maserati. So a want is a good or service which people would like to have, but it's not really essential for living. It's not essential for living, actually. So in other words, people can live without wants and their lives can just continue on perfectly well. And people's wants are unlimited. I'm sure you're already thinking of the things that you want to have in your life, and you're already seeing that, you know what, I have a lot of things that I want and they're unlimited. So, however, there are other things that if you don't have, you might even die, or your life, the quality of your life will be significantly reduced. Like the quality of your life will be like severely reduced. If you don't have food, you're probably going to die. If you don't get medication, you're probably going to get sick. So these things that are essential for living, we call them needs. And so a need is a good or service which is essential, very necessary for living. And need is a good or service which is essential for living. So these definitions, I want you to write them down somewhere. I'm going to be projecting them right here. So I want you to to write them down. So I want you to imagine all the nice things that you would want, right? All the nice things I want you to imagine your favorite shoes, your favorite car, your favorite house, your favorite holiday trips, all the nice things that you would want to have. And then now think about everyone else. They have things that they also want to have, right? So our wants are unlimited. There's just so many things that we want. And so what we call the economic problem is that we have unlimited wants, but we have limited resources to produce the goods and services to satisfy all our wants. So all of us would want to be on a yacht, just on a ship cruise, just touring the world and all of that. All of us would want that. All of us would want to fly private. All of us would like to have Gucci shoes. All of us would like to have a summer house, a winter house, an autumn house, a spring house. Like, you want to have all of these houses. But the economic problem, what we call the economic problem, is that we have all of these unlimited wants, but we have limited resources to produce the goods and services to satisfy those wants. We have the limited resources to build everyone a house in California. We have limited resources to give everyone a chance to stay in a hotel every day. So that's what we call the economic problem. Imagine everyone having 20 cars and a private jet. That's not possible. There's just not even enough minerals in the ground to get all the 8 billion plus people on earth their private jet. If we could get all our wants met, maybe all of us would have our private jets, our private yachts, everything. But the economic problem is we don't have the resources to be able to make the goods, the jewelry, the cars, and services, right? The surgery you would want to have, the massage that you would want to have. We don't have enough resources to get everyone to get those services. So that's what we call the economic problem. So this creates a problem, what that we call scarcity. So scarcity now is a lack of enough products to fulfill the wants of the population. So when things are scarce, it means we don't have enough. So scarcity now is the lack of enough products to fulfill the wants of a population. Think about it. Everyone wants to have a Mercedes-Benz, but we don't have enough Mercedes-Benz for everyone to drive a Mercedes-Benz. We don't have enough resources for everyone to drive a Mercedes-Benz. And so we say the problem that we've created is scarcity. So scarcity means we have unlimited wants and limited resources, and that gives us scarcity. So we have unlimited wants plus limited resources, that leads to scarcity. So like I was saying, we just don't have enough land to build everyone a 20-roomed house. Even if we wanted to do that, we don't have enough land on earth to build everyone that has ever lived a 20-roomed house. All the 8 billion people of us, we don't have enough land to give to build a 20-roomed house and give everyone a farm and give them the Trump towers. We don't have, even if we wanted to do that. So these things that we don't have, that we need to be able to produce the goods and services, are called factors of production. They are called the 4 factors of production. Let's look into them. Number 1 is land. So when we say land in business, what we are really talking about, we're talking about everything that is done and comes out of the land. So we are looking at the natural resources that are provided by nature, forests, everything that is on the land, oil, gas that comes from the land, metals, minerals, everything that is coming from the land, nutrients for farming, everything is the factor of production. Number 1 that we need. We need land. We need land to build businesses also. We can be able to do all of these things. So we need land. Number 2 factor of production, we need labor. This is the number of people who are available to make products. So in some countries, they have land, they have money, but they don't have labor. They are underpopulated. So if you don't have labor, people to actually do the work, that's a problem. So that's the factor of production. Number 2, we need this if we're going to have products. Number 3 is capital. So capital is the finance, it is the machines, it is the equipment that we need to make goods, to manufacture goods, or to make services. We need money. If we are going to give people the transport service to take them from one place to another, we need the money to buy the buses. If we are going to make water like this, we need the money to buy the equipment to purify the water and make the water. Number 3 is the third factor of production. For the 4th factor of production is called enterprise. This is the skill and the risk-taking ability of the person who brings my resources or factors of production together to produce a good or service. So you need skill in order to take land and put labor and put capital together and then start a business and make a service or a product. So people who do that, we call them what? Entrepreneurs. We call them entrepreneurs. Think of people like Aliko Dangote, Strive Masio. Maybe we'll be talking about you one day. Those people are called entrepreneurs. So we need enterprise. Enterprise is that skill that they have now. That skill and that risk-taking ability. That ability to risk. That skill to be able to put all those resources together and start a business. That's what we call enterprise. So let's just do a rundown of the 4 factors of production. Number 1, we said we have land. Number 2 is labor. Number 3 is capital. Number 4 is what? Enterprise. 4 factors of production. Now we want to look at what we call opportunity cost. Now, here's why I want money. Here's why I want to have a lot of money. I hate not being rich. And the reason why is many times I have to choose. Like, recently I had to decide whether I should buy myself a nice tuxedo, for my friend's wedding. Yes, his wedding. Okay, congratulations to you, bro, if you are going to watch this video. But anyway, my friend is getting married, and I had to decide whether to buy a nice tuxedo for the wedding or to buy the new Nike Air Max 90 SP shoes. I had to decide if I could buy them because I didn't have enough money. I had enough money to buy either the tuxedo or the suit, or the shoes, the Nike Air Max 90 SP, imagine. But because I didn't have money to buy both, I ended up just buying the tuxedo. Why? Because I had to decide what was the best thing. Of the two, what was the best thing that I could take? I wanted the shoes, but I had to decide on one because I didn't have enough resources. So the Nike shoes that I didn't buy were the second best thing. I used my judgment and say, which is the best thing that I should buy now? Even though I want all of them, but which is the best thing that I need to buy now? So either I was going to buy the tuxedo or the shoes. And so I decided the tuxedo was the best thing. The Nike shoes were the second best thing. So I bought the tuxedo. Now I want to introduce another concept here. So the Nike shoes became what we call the opportunity cost. So the opportunity cost is the next best thing. It is the second best thing that you give up by choosing the other item so that you can be able to buy the other item. So I chose the Nike shoes. So I chose the tuxedo and then I left the Nike shoes. So it cost me the shoes. So the shoes are what we call the opportunity cost. It is not the number one, the number two, the next best thing that I gave up by choosing the first one. So that's what we call opportunity cost. It's like saying, I don't know how to explain. I wanted to use a bit of some vernacular. It's like saying, kuti ndautenga chingwa kana kuti mazai. Andina mari. I have to decide, can I take bread or eggs? I have to decide, no, that I know. Let me just buy bread. The eggs now are the opportunity cost. It is the next best thing that I had to give up because I didn't have enough money so that I can be able to buy the bread. That's what opportunity cost means.